What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? El Teddy, you there?
I'm here.
How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? Hey, little baby. Listen, my hair look a hot damn mess. Hey, little baby. What's Ebs? What's up, Ebs? I should say. Quintessential David Cole, Discovering Dads. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Okay, so El Teddy doesn't have long to be with us, so we want to just go ahead and jump on in real quick, and then we can come back around to the other stuff we're gonna chit chat about. Mr. Yuri, where you been, bro? Hey. So we're
Hey,
talking
Mr.
about
Judy.
the new.
Hey, Mr. Judy. I
Oh
see
Lord. The news of the day is that
you.
President, I was gonna say President elect. Lord, I just skipped a couple of steps. The Democratic nominee for President Joe Biden has picked his running mate. He had said all along that it would be a woman. We know that there have been a couple of names being floated around, but the one name that always seemed to be floating around that sort of stuck was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. So, hey, Jonathan, Lil Keisha, I hope I said that right, baby. If I didn't, chart it to my head, not my heart. Hey, Shawnette. So, Mama Six, hey, babes. So, the announcement was made today. It is official. Kamala Harris is going to be the nominee for vice president on the Democratic ticket. So, how we feel about it, El Teddy? You on mute, so I don't know if that means you can't talk or you were just
No,
waiting.
I was muting because when I'm on break, I like to go outside out the building so I don't get cold. But there was a truck coming by. Anyway, it was kind of predictable. I knew it was coming because I had already said, and I think you and I talked about this back then. When she first suspended her campaign, I already said, oh, they're gonna they talked to her. They told her to stand down so they could give her VP. Like you knew that was the reason. They talked about it being, the money or whatnot, but it wasn't insurmountable. And she still had some states where she would have broke Joe Biden's back in terms of the voting. So I felt like they did that strategically early on and told her, listen, you come off of this early on, we're going to make sure we hook you up. He's going to choose you as VP. He couldn't come right out and say it because let's just be clear. All of the other females that they talked about wouldn't have been able to carry him like Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was the only real choice once he said, I'm going to have a female candidate.
I see some other names in the chat. Beautiful soul, where have you been? I was going to send you a message send you a message on Instagram. I have missed you the last 2 days. I've been missing you, and I just wanted to check on you because I know you always have a lot going on with work and stuff like that. So I didn't know if it was just work or if you just. I know last week took a lot out of you, so I didn't know if you were just having a moment. But I'm glad to see you, though. I'm ready to vote too. Beautiful soul, I'm so ready for this election. I'm with you, baby. I see a couple of names in the chat. Cole said that I would have probably gone with Elizabeth Warren or Gretchen Whitmire. I see some people thought it might have been Susan Rice. I think Susan Rice is going to be in his cabinet.
Yeah,
I think Susan Rice is going to be in his cabinet.
I'd like to see her as Secretary of State.
I think Stacey Abrams is going to be in his cabinet.
But I think Joe Biden knew you had to do something to get black people on your side because he saw what black women did in Alabama and so forth, and he knew I got to tap into this type of political. Once he saw that it's doable in a state like Alabama and Mississippi and things like that, once he saw that you can win there, he couldn't give that up. And Elizabeth Warren, let's be clear, would not have given him a lot of those southern states like that. She just wouldn't have.
Exactly. Beautiful. Let me say this real quick. Beautiful soul, I understand you have to protect you got to protect your mental health. People don't understand sometimes that this can be hard coming on here, trying to find these topics. And I know that video last week really did a number on you. Do what you got to do, baby. Take your time. But I'm here. And I know you're ready to talk about this. So I think you're going to be on tomorrow because I think you're ready to talk about this. But I agree. Even though he was saying he knew he was going to pick a woman, I was about 90 to 95% certain it would be a black woman. I was pretty certain that if it was going to be a black woman, it was going to be Kamala Harris. Now, I know some of the criticism for her has been her record as a prosecutor. What's Up, Lady T, has been her record as a prosecutor. I just don't share those same concerns. Do you? Like, do you have any concerns about that? Her record
First of all, if they're going to share, first of all, if they're going to aim any blame about the penal system and the political system as with regard to this ticket, all of that should be laid at the hand and at feet of Joe Biden, because we know his record in the United States Senate back in the 90s. Let's be very clear. Joe Biden ain't been doing us no favors for a long time. So we're going to be real clear about that. Kamala Harris.
Me and you disagree on that as well, but go ahead.
Yeah, we going to have to agree to disagree because, anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. I know you didn't just say that.
Oh, I did that just for a purpose, just for a reason. I did that just for you. Just for you. I did that just for you.
For the people in the chat, El Teddy hates when I say that one because y'all don't realize how many times me and El Teddy get into debates, and he hates when I say agree to disagree. So that's why I said that. Okay.
Yeah, but Kamala Harris' job was to uphold the laws of the state of California. That was her job.
Right.
Now, if the state of California's job is heavy-handed when it comes to black people, then you need to take that up with the legislation of the state of California, not with the state attorney.
That when people started criticizing, here's my thing. That's like somebody coming into my classroom and saying, I think you did a horrible job as a teacher because you failed students. You fail little black kids. Why would you do that to little black kids? How dare you fail little black kids? It's your job not to fail little black kids. Well, it's little black kids' job to come to school prepared and ready to learn as well. And so I feel like that's kind of what people were doing with her. It's like you said, be angry at the lawmakers. Be angry at who made at the laws that she was enforcing. I didn't live in California, so I don't know that woman like that. But when people were criticizing her doing her job, I was like, what? So we're going to criticize her because she did her job?
And I think there's definitely going to be criticism to go around. I mean, you get but what I will say, and people are going to start throwing out a lot of other names, but if we're being honest about winning president, it's going to be a governor or a senator. Very few instances you see a congressman that wins a presidential election, and that's because congressmen represent a much smaller geographic area than even a senator who represents a whole state. And so it's definitely going to be a governor or a senator. And so that meant that even though we love Stacey Abrams wasn't going to be able to win over as many people as Kamala Harris, who is a sin. I'm just being honest with you.
No, I don't disagree.
And when I say win over, I'm talking about more than just people of color.
Yeah, no,
because we got to think that there's the battle that has to be fought with, winning over some of those swing white votes that we're going to have to win over.
And I don't disagree with you at all. Anybody that came in, I'm sorry. I tried to speak to you guys. If I missed you, I apologize. I know a couple of people came through. Little baby, you ain't never held your tongue before. Go ahead and say what you got to say. Clearly, you're not a fan, and that's cool. That's what we do over here. Hey, so, like I said, from where I sit, what I was saying about Joe Biden, I wasn't saying that I don't think Joe Biden made some mistakes. I'm not saying that. When it came to, we know about the crime bill and that kind of thing,
I still blame Joe Biden for Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas. I still blame Joe Biden for Clarence Thomas. Let's be clear.
I could see that. I could definitely see that we could put that at his foot. I definitely could see that. But again, I say, well, that'll be a whole nother conversation. I don't give him a pass, but I do put it in context of the climate of the country as far as where we were when it came to women. I think it could have been Anita Hill. I think it could have been a white woman, and I think the same result would have happened because I think that's where we were as a country. Hell, look at what we just went through with the last Supreme Court nominee. She didn't do no better. I mean, she's a white woman 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. I don't even remember the years now. She didn't do no better.
Right. Oh, definitely. I wasn't even mentioning the fact that it was a black woman. I just blame him for Clarence Thomas, who should not be sitting on anybody's United States Supreme Court. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Yeah, and so that's what, yeah. I don't disagree with you on that one at all. I don't disagree with you on that one. I absolutely feel like, and even, yeah, I agree with you on that one. I agree with you on that one.
I do think that Joe Biden has grown over the years. A lot of people do that as they get older and they see the pearly gates and they know they're going on to glory, pretty soon they start to get themselves right, with the people around them and with God. So, he sees it, he knows he's trying to get it right. He changed his ways a little bit,
And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, I don't think he's the same person that wrote that crime.
No, I definitely don't think he's the same person.
The same person that, that did that crime, but that'd be a different conversation. But I don't think he's that same person.
And I think that also you have to say the same thing of Kamala Harris, because there may have been a time when Kamala Harris was very heavy-handed and very, gung-ho with her prosecutions. But when you become a United States senator and you start to see the entire breadth of what you have to do and the laws that you're going to make that's going to impact people nationwide and not just within your own state, you did a lot of times change how you feel about things and change your ideologies on things. So I'm certainly of the thought that even she may have changed, how she is or how she would govern.
Yeah, and I think, and I guess for me, first of all, I love politics. Okay, so I could do this in my sleep.
I do too.
And I understand that politics is not a perfect. It's just not a perfect world. And I don't like the term lesser of two evils. I hate that term. But in some instances, well, most instances, you have to remember you're never going to get a perfect candidate. You just aren't. You have to vote for the person that serves your best interest. And that's why, like we were talking earlier about a whole different topic. Well, no, this was a private conversation we were having earlier. And I was saying how I could understand how people who live in a certain area of the country, who grew up in a certain mindset, who have certain privileges in life, would support a Donald Trump. The person, I don't understand the person sitting next door to me, living in the same way I live, supporting a Donald Trump. But that's the thing about politics. And so when we look at the big picture, listen, Joe Biden could have chosen SpongeBob SquarePants to be his VP, and I was still fucking voting for Joe Biden. So, in the grand scheme of things, honestly, I don't give a fuck.
When I think, but see, I'm thinking, I'm not thinking about myself, you, and some of the people who we know, like you said, we're going to vote for Joe Biden anyway. What I'm thinking about is the person that he's selecting going to be someone that's going to garner the votes of those people who chose to vote for that guy that y'all have up there now, and against their own best interest? Is it going to sway some people who we know are still on the fence? Because let's be clear, a lot of people will tell you one thing, but they are still on the fence. Just like a lot of people told you one thing before they went to the ballot box in 2016, and then when they went to the ballot box in 2016, they did something different. Or people who are not going to go at all.
Listen, to shout out my girl, Beautiful Soul, the other morning, me and her we both look at Morning Joe every morning, and they always start off with these polls. And she was saying on her show the other morning, don't pay attention to these polls, because listen, did they not do the same thing 4 years ago? Don't y'all listen to these damn polls telling you who gonna vote for? Because them same people told somebody they wasn't gonna vote for Trump, and what the hell they do when they got up in that ballot booth? So don't y'all listen. I
love on Morning Joe how Mika and Joe be up there having Steve Kornacki at the little board doing everything. And I be looking at Steve Kornacki, Steve Kornacki, you giving us all these polls and all these numbers, but it still don't explain how everything you told me ended up being wrong. Explain it, Steve Kornacki.
Right, so don't y'all listen. Don't y'all believe these polls. Don't listen to what they are telling y'all. They told us the same thing 4 years ago, and look at what we ended up with. Don't y'all do it. Don't you do And while I'm doing this, let me do my PSA. Y'all need to be going on the website for your local, wherever you vote, your state, city, wherever you vote, and you guys need to find out what they're doing as far as are y'all doing mail-ins? Are they going to have the polls open? Like, y'all need to find out what's going on, what the plan is, and also if you're going to vote in person, listen, be ready to stand in line. Don't go up. Listen, be ready to stand in line. Be ready to be social distance. Just do it. Just do it. All right, y'all need to find out what the plan is where you live.
I know my home state of Florida is gonna find a way to mess up. Listen, you can write it down now. My home state of Florida, whose governor is named Donald Trump and whose lieutenant governor is named Ron DeSantis, is going to find a way to mess this up, or find a way to not have all of the votes for the fourth largest state in these yet to be United States of America count. I'm just saying, they're gonna find a way to mess it up in my home state of Florida. I can tell you that now. You can count it now.
Yeah, I've done my very first election was an absentee ballot. I was in college, and my very first I got my ballot mailed to me. I'm not gonna tell y'all who I voted for because El Teddy already be calling me old. But my very first election
was Ronald Reagan versus Dukakis.
I knew he was gonna say some ignorant shit. Anyway,
Jimmy Carter versus Ronald Reagan.
No, idiot. Anyway, but yeah.
Or was that Walter Mondale against Ronald Reagan? See, I don't know. That was before my time.
I'm about to click him off. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, so y'all need to make sure that. But yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm fine with Kamala Harris because this is the thing with this. What I know for certain is that she can handle herself. What I know for certain is that she can debate the ass off for anybody they put in front of her. We know who it's going to be. And I know we're probably not going to have a traditional debate situation, but whatever they put in front of her, I know she can handle that. That I know.
Do you know what's so funny, really, B? My first election was 2000. And you know where I was? I was in Tallahassee. I was in school at the time. And I was a part of those group of college students that were told that they could not vote. And then they had to come back and tell us that we could vote. I was a part of that whole debacle with the vote for college students in Tallahassee.
I remember that election because we were at the voting booth and my grandmother, unfortunately, she got sick. And we had to take her to the emergency room. And I remember when we got to the emergency room, Al Gore won, right? He won. And then by the time we got home and got her home good and everything, they was talking about that. I was like, well, what the hell? Like, what happened? All we did was in the hospital. Like, what happened?
Listen,
I remember that.
Listen, I saw that what Chantel just put. I am looking forward to the vice president debates more than I am to the presidential debates. Baby, I'm looking to see Kamala Harris wear out some Mike Pence. Oh, I'm looking to see her lay into him something nasty. Let me tell you something. And that's probably going to get better numbers than the doggone presidential debate. I can see it.
But
I can see the VP debate get better numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to catch the cliff notes of the presidential debate on Morning Joe because I just can't do it, y'all. I can't. My mental health cannot take 2 hours of Donald Trump pretending like he is intelligent. I can't. Because and I love Joe Biden, but y'all know Joe Biden be coming out his mouth sometimes too sideways, and I just can't do it. I feel a train wreck coming with that debate. But now I am here for Pence and Harris. I'm here for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still here for that.
Make no bones about it. Pence wants his opportunity. Oh, Pence is waiting. Pence is a life politician, so he's here for all the smoke. Oh, he's going to be here for all the... Oh, it's going to be great.
You grew up in Florida, too? Okay. So she was here for it. She remembers all of that. Yeah. I remember it. And I know for myself, I feel like it's going to be some... Listen, let me say this to y'all. Just hold on and be ready because there's going to be some fraganackle is going to happen. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be some shiz naive. Use all of the words.
I can tell you right now, the election would not be conceded or decided until the electoral college has to vote in December. Call it now. I don't care. It could be a freaking landslide, and I'm telling you, that young man is not going to concede. He's going to say, "Oh, we're suing. Oh, this went wrong. Oh, I'm telling. They're already setting it up."
He's not going to concede, but what he going to find out? Y'all remember? Y'all all saw Black Panther, right? Everybody in here saw Black Panther. Probably seen it 20 times. Y'all remember the part in Black Panther where Lupita was having when after Black Panther got defeated, you know, they what's the fate? Beat Michael B. Jordan, threw him over the cliff, and Lupita was trying to make a run for it, and she was trying to get your girl to come with her, the head of the guard.
Oh yeah, and the head of the guard say, "Oh, I can't help you."
And remember, I can't remember her name. Y'all know I don't know damn names. And remember when Lupita was like, "Well, who do you know who do you support?" She said, "I serve the king. He ain't the king no more." That is when Trump is going to remember that the Secret Service, the CIA, the FBI, those are not his own personal police. And when they carry his ass, I could see them having to physically carry his ass. And when they carry him out to the front gates of the White House, the district attorney of the state of New York is going to be standing there with his motherfucking warrant, okay? Because the warrant is waiting. It's in a sealed envelope waiting. Okay? Yeah.
Anyway, really, B, I got to get off. It's 6:59. So I got to get off. But I wanted to come on real fast and talk to you about that because I did want to talk about that. I'll probably go live tomorrow, bring you on live with me tomorrow or something like that. We can talk about it.
Okay, no problem. I appreciate you coming on. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and you know, go back to work. Do what you do, child.
Yeah, going back in here, teach the people something.
Oh, let me get him off of here. Okay, you guys. So what was I going to say? Anyway, so hey, you guys. I knew El Teddy was short on time, so I didn't want anybody to feel like I was being rude. Hey, Chantel, the Tea Lounge, S. Shaw, Miss T Velocity, Lori Pepper, Amber. Hi, everybody. Miss Twisted Tresses. I saw you in here earlier. Jonathan, you know you my boo. What's up, babes? Anybody else that I missed? East Starkey, hello. Mama Six, Patty Duke. All right, I think I got everybody that's in the chat. So welcome, you guys. Welcome. So, yeah, y'all know me. Y'all know how I feel about this whole politics thing. I could do this all day. We could talk about this all day. But that was definitely the news of the day. I had to take me a little nappy nap. And I fell asleep right as they were making the announcement. And so I said, well, I'm going to add that to my list of things to talk about, honey. I knew I was going to go live today. And I said, I'll add that to my list of things to talk about. We're going to talk Quintessential, Miss Quintessential. If you would like to, you don't have to show your face, but if you would like to come on and maybe give us some insight on what's going on in Chicago, because I do want to speak on it, but I know you live there, so you may have some insight that you can share. If you would like to, I can. You can, you have my Instagram. You can inbox me your email and I can send it to your email. You don't have to put it in the chat. If you would like to come on, and like I said, you don't have to show your face. But I did want to talk about what's going on. I feel like clearly I wasn't alive in the late 60s when, you know, we had I think it was the summer of 68, quote me, fix me if I'm wrong, you guys, where we had all the race riots. I just kind of feel like my city, I don't want to speak it into an existence, but I feel like my city is ripe for an uprising. We have a lot going on in DC. There was I don't know if you guys heard about it or not. There was you're in a restaurant. Okay, no problem, Miss Quintessential. Just correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or tell me what you want me to know or want me to say out loud. Okay, no problem. Be safe in that restaurant, dude. We had a mass shooting in DC. What's today? I think it might have been Sunday. And let me tell y'all what it was. It was an annual event that they have every year, like a big block party that they have every year. They put in the permits to have the block party. The permits were denied because the gathering was going to be too large and it was going to be out. Okay, Miss Patty Duke, I forgot you're in DC too. Yeah, tell me, again, give me information if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, or add to it, From my understanding, the permits were denied because it was not going to meet, it was going to be outside of the guidelines for gatherings under the COVID restrictions. But they had it anyway. They posted it on social media and everything, and they had the gathering anyway. I believe it was 2 men. I believe it was 2, but don't quote me on that. Came through and shot the whole thing up. They were looking for one particular person, and they shot the whole thing up. Okay, you sent me. Okay, Miss Quintessential. They shot the whole thing up, and 21 people are injured. 1 person is dead, who was a father. He was a teenage father, but he was a father nonetheless. And that's kind of where we are right now in our city. We have had, even before COVID, the crime was going up in DC. I don't know what it was attributed to. My ears aren't to the streets like they used to be. I have my suspicions, but I don't want to speak on it because I really don't know for certain. So I don't want to speak on something that I'm not knowledge of. But I look at the major cities, and you add COVID, you add people being in their homes, you add the kids weren't in school, you add all of these different things that are going on, and I really, really. Oh, you were there in the 60s. Oh, okay, Miss Patty Duke, you were there in the 60s. I'm sorry. Okay, you weren't at the block party. Okay. I was wondering what you were doing at that block party, Miss Patty Duke, but I wasn't gonna say nothing. I said that might be her people or something. I don't know. That might be her family over there. But I really am, for lack of a better word, nervous for our major cities. I know we've had some stuff with the Black Lives Matter. I know we've had some things. Y'all know I was in downtown DC Sunday morning. Me and Niecy went to brunch, and where we went to brunch was in downtown DC. And we was driving through, and I was like, what are all these buildings doing boarded up? And remember, I didn't go to the protest here in DC. My niece went. And she was like, this is where they were, this is where they broke the windows and stuff, when they were. I was like, oh, snap, because I really had forgotten about it. And I'm thinking to myself, these are businesses like Tiffany and, major businesses. And I'm like, why didn't you fix the glass yet? Those protests were like a month ago. Why are we still driving around downtown DC and it look like a war zone? Like, that makes me nervous that even the people, these businesses, feel like it ain't over. Ain't no need us fixing the glass because it ain't over. Like, in my mind, that's what that says to me. When you don't even bother to fix something, that means you just feel like it's going to break all over again. So when I see a company like, I'm looking at Banks, I'm looking at Tiffany and Company, I'm looking at, I believe it was Rolex. I'm looking at stores like this that said, we're just going to keep the plywood up. That makes me a little nervous, y'all. I don't know about y'all. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I don't know. That makes me a little nervous. I think people are getting restless and hopeless and broke, and it's a lot. It's like everyone is having mental health struggles all at the same time. Exactly. I do. I agree. I think there's some elements to it. Ms. Quintessential, I'm about to send you this email right now. I think there's some elements to it, and I think you are correct. I think it's a little bit of all of the above. Quintessential, I think I've sent you an email before, and I think you might already be in here. Yep, you already in here, Quintessential. So I just sent you the link, so whenever you want to jump on, you can. Beautiful Soul, the platform is open to you as well, my love. If you want to jump on and speak on, I know we already kind of went past it, but if you want to jump on and speak on Kamala Harris, we can come back around. If you're still there and you want to speak on it, the platform is open to you as well, my love. But it just makes me a little nervous. It makes me a little nervous for my city. And I look at Chicago and I look at what happened in Chicago, and that it broke my heart. And I don't know if you guys watch Black Ink Crew, they vandalized Non-Mag. They vandalized Non-Mag, and I'm just like, well, technically it's not a state, Mr. Zudi, it's a city, but we're blue. DC blue, child. DC, listen. DC have been gentrified and everything else, and we still blue. Child, DC blue gonna be blue, gonna stay blue. It's gonna. I don't know what would have to happen for DC not to be blue no more. I work as a manager at a well-known clothing retail store in New York City, and it took them over a month to fix our glass after it was looted. See, had to force them to do it. Yeah, what that says to me is they don't feel like there's any need to do it because they feel like it's just going to happen again. Like when, like, that's what that says to me. I'm not saying that's what the case is, but that's what that says to me is ain't no need in us fixing it. I don't know, y'all. I was just in downtown Chicago Wednesday, and most high-end stores had no displays in the windows, and luxury car dealerships pulled the cars off the street. Child. Let me know when you're ready, babe. All right. Hey, Miss Quintessential, how you doing?
Hey there, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Miss Quintessential, listen, y'all gotta get my lighting right. Y'all see my lighting is still off. Anyway, Miss Quintessential be sending me. She one of my producers, honey. She be sending me stories. She be in my inbox sending me stuff. Now you are in Chicago, and that's why I wanted to speak with you. What's going on? I mean, we heard on the news that it started over police arrest that went wrong or something like that.
Well, from my understanding, there was a shooting that happened in the Inglewood area. And Inglewood is a south side neighborhood, southwest side neighborhood. And it started with, they said it was a 20-year-old that was shot, but it ended up finding out that a 15-year-old was actually shot that was supposedly unarmed. And it started a riot in Inglewood. So after that happened, then they started, and we're all thinking that was a very organized situation because then it went from Inglewood to 87th and the Dan Ryan, which is more centralized, south side, area by the expressway, and moved on from 87th Street with all those retailers all the way up to the north side, which is when we've had riots happen here in Chicago, a lot of it has been on the south side of Chicago. Mm-hmm. A lot of it. We didn't have anything going on the north side. North side area, we're talking about where the Cubs Park is. We're talking about a little bit more affluent. This was the north side of Chicago, Lincoln Park, which is very affluent area.
Yeah, because that's from what you saw on the news. You were like, wait a minute, yeah.
And North Michigan Avenue, which is the Mag Mile in Chicago, very, very affluent area. The Gucci shop got hit again, Pottery Barn.
Boosters.
Folks is out here selling YSL purses for $30 and calling them Victoria's Secret bags. I'm like, oh my God. I see you. So they tore up North Michigan Avenue. They tore up central downtown area. Just tore it up. They even looted Potbellies. And Panda Express. Now I don't even understand.
I don't even want Panda Express when it's open.
I don't even need Panda Express. When I saw the news yesterday, I got up in the morning as normal to look at the local news before I look at MSNBC or CNN or anything like that. Right. And I got up and I saw they were on State Street, which is downtown Chicago, by where like city, not far from City Hall and all those places. And they were looting Old Navy, Potbelly, Panda Express. Then they had already just trashed the Apple store and all, it's like, why are they doing this? But then we also noticed that it was organized because a lot of these people had black SUVs pulling up at all these different places, and they're pulling out the ATM machines, they're pulling out the cash registers, they're pulling out, and they're all, and then they're also Facebook Living the whole thing.
I saw that with
the whole thing.
I was like, how sorry are you that you are on Facebook Live breaking into the ATM machine, like with no covering, no mask, no nothing? I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
And it's not, and it wasn't. I mean, I guess unfortunately, the whole thing is unfortunate. But unfortunately, we saw like a lot of young black people. But you saw Hispanics out there. You saw white people out there as well. You saw people. You saw people over 35 out there. You saw old. I'm like, oh. So that's why we know like this has nothing to do with social justice and all of that. It was just something that was organized and waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And so now, so after that happened, they had to downtown. You can't get around if you can't get across these bridges downtown. So all the bridges were raised, buses were not going downtown for a while. Everything was cut off from downtown for a while, and then eventually later in the afternoon they put them back up. But then the curfew was put in place where you couldn't really get downtown beyond, it was like from 8 to 6 o'clock. That was it, So
Okay.
yeah, so but for us, as far as like right now, I'm here in a restaurant right now in a corner. It's all social distancing, so we're all safe here. But the area that I reside in was also hit, and it's a very affluent. Well, because the University of Chicago is here, so I put it like that. The University of Chicago here, it's a prime university here.
Right.
This area was hit, when the first initial lootings and riots was going on, pretty bad as well. So, and it's just not recovering. And, you're trying to understand, like, what is this actually resolving? It's not doing anything, to go and loot the Gucci store again and the Pottery Barns and the Nike stores and all these very high-end shops. Or as far as going to Panda Express, which I don't even understand. I just didn't get it.
I don't know what you wanted, some egg rolls. What you want from the Panda Express?
I don't understand it. Don't get me. I didn't understand that one, but that is actually what happened. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, let me ask you this, and I don't want to put you on the spot, so you can abstain. How do you think the mayor is handling what's going on in Chicago? Do you think that is being handled well as an administration? What do you think? You can abstain if you don't want to say nothing bad about the woman or good. I mean, I shouldn't say like that, but you know what I'm saying. If you don't,
I'm just saying. It's interesting because these issues didn't take place with. Chicago is known for its political corruption. We all know that. That's not a secret. And it's interesting. A lot of things are being. A lot of pressures that never took, with the Laquan Daniels situation happening. None of this really took. There was no social outcry during that time to the magnitude of it, what it is right now.
Right.
So I believe that whether you agree with her policies or not, she's a former prosecutor herself.
Right.
She is doing what she can at the moment. I mean, I don't know. Her hands are tied, she's doing what she can. And I don't really have a negative opinion about what's going on. She's just trying to work with what she got and try to move forward with that, because there's other issues going on within the city beyond just the whole looting situation.
Yeah.
Make sure that, we're have to hope that we don't go back to phase 2, people not putting on wearing a mask and everything. So
you're on phase. Chicago's on phase 3.
Oh, we're like at the what is it called? We're at the point where you have outdoor seating out here. You have, if the restaurant serves alcohol and food, you can, as long as there's social distance inside the place. Like right now, I met a friend here, and they just left. All the tables, every other table you can sit at.
Yeah, but DC still phase 2. They I was saying today on the news that they're not ready to move to phase 3 because the cases haven't gotten to wherever they need them to get to. Okay. The numbers they're looking at aren't there yet, so we're still kind of stuck in phase 2. But our phase 2 is that the restaurants are open and outdoor seating. I went to brunch on Sunday. It was indoor, but it was every other table. You had to wear your mask unless you were eating or drinking. You had to have your mask on.
Right.
Or you were supposed to. I ain't gonna say they enforced it, but you were supposed to.
Well, if I go to the ladies' room, I got to put on my mask to go to the ladies' room. If I go next door here to Target, I got to wear my mask. If I go here to CVS, I got to wear my mask in there. I can't go to any places out here to go shopping without my mask on. You have to have your mask on.
Yeah, that's how it is here. Okay. Yeah. So, well, thank you for letting us know. Because, like I said, I saw it on the news. I guess I woke up to it yesterday morning, and I was just like, "What the hell?" Like, you woke
up at like 4:00 in the morning. And I got up early, and I usually sometimes just have my television on just for background noise. And I got up early, and there were people downtown acting like it was 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and the early morning news local news had just started coming on, and they acting like they're partying at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It wasn't even 5 o'clock in the morning yet. Not even 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, what is really going on here?
Yeah, I'm not going to make excuses for bad behavior, but I do think there's so much going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to some colleagues yesterday, and we were talking about how we wonder how many pregnancies we have. We wonder, within the school, because the kids just have so much idle time. There weren't a lot of summer jobs, so things that would keep their attention didn't have their attention this summer. A lot of them weren't working. A lot of things weren't open. Like Kings Dominion, which is like the big amusement park, is about 2 hours down the road. Didn't open at all this summer. And I think Six Flags opened, but it was by appointment only. Whereas before, the kids could get on the bus, they could get on the Metro bus and get to Six Flags. They could get they could get a season pass, and it also employed a lot of kids. And so you think about all those things that just weren't in place this summer. You add the anxiety of, if the adults don't know what the hell is going on, I can't only imagine how the kids are feeling. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm not making excuses for bad behavior. We all know that you ain't supposed to be out here robbing nobody. I get that. But it's just a lot. It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. All right, well, thank you so much for popping on. You one of my day ones, Gary. You've been around.
I try. I'm gonna stay listening in. I'm gonna listen in and see what the rest of the broadcast is gonna be about.
And I didn't forget about you. Those pendants that I showed you a few months back. I just haven't seen my girlfriend because she has kids, and I haven't been to her house. Okay. But I ain't forgot about you. I'm gonna get them from you.
Don't worry about it. I'm still a member of the organization. They ain't gonna never.
And I'm gonna say this before I let you go. You threw me off the other day because your government name, I'm not gonna say it, but your government name is the same as one of my colleagues. I have the exact same name.
Oh, okay.
So you sent me a message the other day and it said something about my soror, and she's a Delta. So I just automatically assumed it was a Delta. So I was like,
no, honey, I'm not. No.
The first thing that hit me was her name.
Okay.
I thought about her, but then I looked at the picture. I said, oh, no, that's not her. I was like, okay, I know who it is. Okay. But
I was picking somebody to come that you should talk to be on your Teachers Project 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, that's I'm not a Delta. Let me make that very clear.
I know.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I was talking about. And then I forget what I was gonna say something about. We're now like I said, we're still in this heightened got to watch out what's going on around us. And it's so funny because people that still visit Chicago, I live down the street from where President Obama's house is, which you can't really even hardly see anymore because they've covered it up for the most part. But and people just, they laugh at me and it's like, did you really know the former president? I'm like, I used to hang out with him at the Starbucks that's in this area over here before, before.
The senator or whatever, yeah.
He was senator.
Okay.
The senator when and then because he used to just come out and go to Starbucks and get his hair cut in the area and all of that. So it wasn't, that kind of thing. But then
that was one of the things that they used to be frustrated with him when he was president, that he just wanted to just go out and do stuff. And they were like,
that's what he used to do. That's what he always did.
And that's what they were frustrated with. Because and the funny thing is him and Joe Biden. Joe Biden's going to do the same thing when he's elected. He liked to just get up and go. Remember, Joe Biden used to ride the train. He used to go home to Delaware. Delaware, if you drive from DC to Delaware, if you're driving, it's about an hour and a half drive, right? He would catch the train every single day. When he was in Congress, he caught the train because he had young kids. Remember, he had his 2 young sons. He caught the train home every day. And so people could just walk up to him and it was so many people that knew him on that Amtrak, that commuter, because he was on it every day and they knew him, and that's just who he was. So yeah,
they're saying that that I used to talk to him. We used to do debates at Starbucks and all. I'm like, because that's what we did. It was we stopped talking to him because he wasn't around once he got the nomination, and then of course we. They cut off where he lived. We couldn't go down that street anymore. Can't walk down there and all of that. That's when things got cut off. But other than that, before that, it was. He's just a regular guy, I would just be like,
I wouldn't mind hanging out with him and Michelle. I know where they live down. I know where their house is down here in DC, honey. And you same way. You can't get on that street or nothing, but I know where it is. I know where they live and everything. Yes, honey. Okay, well, thanks a lot. But I'm gonna follow up with you about your friend for the teacher project, though. We'll follow up. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for popping on. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, Carolyn, how you doing, babes? How you doing? So anyway, I always appreciate when we have people that are in the area. Y'all know how I like y'all tell me stuff like that, and I knew that Quintessential was in Chicago, and I definitely didn't want to misspeak on her town. So I appreciate her coming on and giving us that insight. We're gonna pray for Chicago. Let's just pray for all these major cities, and because I feel it, y'all. I feel it. I want to be wrong. You know how sometimes you feel something coming, but you want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Okay, so let's lighten up the mood a little bit, y'all. Let's lighten up the mood a little bit. Let's talk about. Did y'all see what they're gonna do? They want to do a drama. They want to take the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air story and turn it into like a drama. Y'all seen that? And I could definitely see that. I could see how it could go from being a comedy to being like an hour-long drama. You have a teenager moving from Philadelphia to go live with his parents and, you know, an affluent, California. So, uncle's a judge, auntie, what was she, a lawyer? Or what was she? She was something. I don't remember what Aunt Viv was, child. Going to a private school with his, like, here's the part. I can see it as a drama, but I feel like we've seen it before. Yeah, does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, I definitely can see it as a drama. I definitely can see them turning it into a serious drama, but I feel like we've seen it before. Well, Maximum Pink, tell me what the alternative is, Maximum Pink. Tell me what the Maximum Pink, you said Biden wrote the crime bill in the 1990s, which we've already spoken on this, but you're probably just coming in the room, and that's fine. And you said, I'm not sure why he's being supported. So my question to you is, what is the alternative? Trump for another 4 years? Teacher turned housewife. That's what it was. That's right. Because I remember her wanting to go back to work and all that good stuff. Hold on a second, y'all. Give me a quick. Sorry about that. The trailer that came out. Yeah, it's been greenlit, Abby. Yeah, that the story that it's been greenlit. It's been greenlit. Mm-hmm. So here's my thing. Oh gosh, I get frustrated, you guys. We know Biden is not a perfect candidate. There is no perfect candidate. A year ago, when we had 567,000 people running for president on the Democratic ticket, people were like, why are there so many people running? Oh my goodness, they're going to mess it up. There's so many people running. They're going to tear each other up before we get there. And then the Republicans are going to, right? But that is what the Democratic process is about. Anybody who was qualified to get their name on the ballot had a right to run for president. The process will eliminate them. And that is what happened. One by one, the process, once the primary started, and I kept telling y'all, once the primaries start, the people will be eliminated. The process is set up to eliminate people. So there were other people who ran against Biden. Biden won the nomination. However you might feel he won the nomination, whether you like how he won it, whether you think it was a fair process, whatever the situation might be, he won the nomination. So now I say, when you say, oh, well, Biden did this and Biden did that. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. What's the alternative? Because the alternative to Biden at this point, where we are on August, whatever day this is, 2020, the only alternative to Biden right now is Trump. So are we going to accept that Biden is an imperfect candidate, but a better candidate than Donald Trump? Or are we going to allow what they did with Hillary Clinton happen again, where they convinced people that Hillary Clinton, I'm going to answer your question right now. Somebody just said, why do I hate the lesser of two evils? And here's why I hate the lesser of two evils. Because we were convinced, and I say we because I wasn't, but I'm saying we as the voting public, we were convinced that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were both equally as bad. And people use the term lesser of two evils, lesser of two evils. No. There is no contest where Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are equal of anything. They weren't equal in intelligence. They weren't equal in experience. They weren't equal in getting along with people and understanding the political system. You ain't have to like Hillary Clinton by any stretch of the imagination. But what you can't do is take away what that woman has done. And that is why I hate the lesser of two evils, because when you use that term, then what you're telling me is they're equal. You're saying, oh, well, it's the lesser of two evils, but it's really not. There's no... How do I put it? You're saying to me, how I hear it is, you're saying that they're equal, but they're not. And I know the term, I know the word lesser is in there. I get that. But when you say lesser, like, it doesn't, there's no lesser there. There's like this, there's this, there's this. There's no contest where Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are close. There's nothing. There's no contest where they were close. Period. Now you can hate Hillary Clinton. You can go back to you can blame her for her husband cheating on her. You can talk about Benghazi. You can talk about all of the horrible things that are on Hillary Clinton's resume, and it still will not equal up to Donald Trump and what he was doing. And I'm not even talking about the president. I'm talking about everything on his resume leading up to him running for president. This is a man who took a full-page ad out in the New York Times and said that the Central Park Five should have been put to death and won't apologize for it even after they've been exonerated. How is that equal to anything Hillary Clinton has done? This election is strategic on the voters, and the goal is to remove Trump, period. He's not diplomatic, intelligent. He's divisive and putting us all at risk. Exactly. Say it. You better say it again, Brianna. You better say it again. All politicians do something that we do not like or agree with that goes with it. Exactly. There's no one person. Hell, your mama done done something you don't like. There's no person that's going to always make you happy. There isn't. You show me your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your cousin, your best friend, your children, your mama. You show me someone who has never done something that you didn't like. Maybe God? I mean, even then, God he did some things, right? Is Jonathan still in the room? Don't get on me, Jonathan, for that. We have to vote for Biden for our survival. A vote other than Biden puts Trump back in office. Facts. The equal, I think, was referring to trust, that there's a people we're debating who was the lesser of two evils. Hold on, let me read that again. The equal, I think, was referring to trust. And that is where people were debating who was. But I didn't have to see, maybe it's me. I never understood the vitriol against Hillary Clinton. I never understood it. I never understood the hate and the vitriol against Hillary Clinton. Even going way back to when Bill Clinton was first elected, like, she walked in the door and people hated her. And I was just like, and again, I'm not saying she was a perfect person, but I'm like, damn, when did she piss in your cornflakes? Like, what did this woman do to y'all? I think tons of Americans still not getting with Trump in the White House is not just us that is going to suffer. Yeah, I agree. Biden can get in TV and say, I hate N-words, and guess what? I'm still voting for him. The other guy will never get my vote. Well, my thing is, the other guy has shown you how he feels. Like, I feel like The other guy is showing you how you feel. Like, he started off his election talking about Mexicans and rapists and drug dealers. Like, I don't know how you get. I don't know where you go with. I don't know where you go from with that. You start off the day you are announcing you're running for president. Part of your speech is the Mexicans are drug dealers and rapists. I don't know where you go. I don't know how you ever equate that to Hillary Clinton on her worst day. On her worst day. I don't know how you equate that. I never understood it. I remember I was in London 2 weeks before the election, or three, however long it was before the election, when all that stuff came out about her emails, about the letter, not her emails, but the letter from Comey saying, remember that big thing that came out right before the election about Comey saying that he would prosecute her, or she should be prosecuted. Something he said that was out of pocket, right? And I remember being in London, and I remember thinking, God damn, like, come on, people, like, child. Yeah, I agree with you. Is it Akela 25? I agree. I do. I think mentally he's off. I do. I really think he's in the early forms of dementia. I do. I really do believe that. I think Biden is going to get half the white votes along with the majority of the blacks, and this is the difference than 2016. I don't think people will vote for Trump based on the economy. He relied heavily on having a positive economy, and this isn't the case. Yeah, that's why he tried to hurry up and do that executive order to throw people a couple of extra $100, thinking that's going to make people change their mind, child. Disgusting person, let alone president. Well, you can get no arguments out of me. I think that somebody just said, what Jonathan just said. If you guys remember, and some of y'all who watch the political shows like I do, y'all are going to remember what I'm talking about. Joe Biden said back in 2000, the last election cycle, 2016, Joe Biden said Hillary Clinton. Now, my biggest issue with Hillary Clinton is that she didn't listen to no damn body, because her husband and Joe Biden, and probably Barack Obama too, were trying to tell her things she needed to do, and she wouldn't listen. Now that I put on her. I don't put that on Trump. I don't put that on the political people. I put that on her, because Biden and her husband, I know that to be a fact. I can't speak to Obama, but I'm sure he did the same thing, because he was very grassroots as well. Told her, you got to get on the ground. You can't take Pennsylvania for granted. You can't take Ohio for granted. You have to get on the ground. And they kept telling her, and Biden kept telling her, and Biden knows his people. And Biden told her, because she kept sending them. She kept sending her husband, and she kept sending Obama, and she kept sending those people out thinking, well, those are my heavy hitters. They love Obama. They love Biden. They definitely love my husband. She kept sending them, and they kept telling her, you need to go. You need to go talk to those coal miners and explain to them what that soundbite meant, because what they heard was that she would get rid of their job. They don't care whether their job is dangerous or not. It's their job. And they're third, fourth, fifth generation coal miner. They don't care. And so that part I put at her footstep. I put that 100% at her footstep, because she didn't listen. And they told her, and Biden said that. And I don't think that's unfortunately, with COVID limiting his movement, it'll be different. But were we living in a regular America right now, Biden would be on the ground. He would be in those areas. He would be on the ground, because he knows how important it was. He understood how important it was. A vote for Kanye is a vote for Trump. Child, you ain't never lied about that. If y'all don't get out of my face with that Kanye West mess, and people like Nick Cannon and Chance the Rapper, if y'all don't go sit y'all buffoon asses down somewhere. Yeah, people are trying to justify it, child. Those few dollars he's trying to throw at people means nothing when they've lost everything. Right, because you see people are still getting evicted. He ain't stopping no evictions. And even that stimulus package that he signed into executive order, a lot of that is at the foot of the states. And the states don't have the money. The first stimulus package the federal government paid for. under his executive order, the states are paying for the majority of that, and the states don't have the money. The states are already asking the federal government for help. They don't have the money. So don't hold your breath on that second stimulus. I'm just telling y'all now. Don't go on out there spending no money because. All right, y'all. Let me do this last little topic, and then we get ready. Let's end on a light note. It's been an hour. We're gonna end on a light note. So, oh Lord, look at this on my CNN. I just got as schools open across the U.S. A news report says that there's been a 90% increase in COVID-19 cases among kids over the last month. Yeah, because you put them back in school. Yeah. All right. So Lauryn Hill's daughter, some people need to take the phone away from their kids, okay? Lauryn Hill's daughter has been all over the social media telling all their family business, okay? First, she talked about how her daddy wasn't there. He was an absentee dad. He wasn't around and how that affected her because she didn't have her daddy. Then she was talking about how Lauryn Hill used to beat them. She said, to quote her, it was some slavery type shit, honey. Now, first of all, hey Rochelle, hey Queen Star My Roll, how you guys doing? Now, first of all, let's say this. How many of us knew that Rohan Marley was an absentee dad? Like, anybody shocked by that revelation that Rohan Marley wasn't there, a part of his kid's life? Anybody shocked by that? Put one in the chat if you are shocked by the revelation that Rohan, whatever, Marley was an absentee dad. Go and put one in the chat if you are shocked by that. I'm just saying. Okay, no one's. Okay. Secondly, she said that her mama beat her and that she had a crazy childhood. Your hand is raised, little baby. Go ahead, little baby. Say what you want to say, honey. I'm going to say this. I agree with you, Brianna, that it made you sad. She said it made me sad to hear that. I would be devastated if that's how my children view their childhood. But let's say this, and I guess a part of me is joking, but a part of me is serious too. When I say, how many of us didn't realize that something wasn't right with Lauryn Hill? Like, Lauryn Hill has had struggles since the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like, she has struggled and she has had struggles. Like, and for us to think that those struggles did not trickle down into what was going on in her household, it would be crazy to think that it didn't trickle down into what was going on in the household. I hate to hear it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not shocked by it. There's nothing that I'm not shocked by it at all. Are y'all shocked? I don't know that man. Bob Marley's one of Bob Marley's kids. I mean, let's be clear. Let me tell you something. I love Bob Marley. Bob Marley is one of my favorite artists of all time. I have read books on Bob Marley. I have gone to his home in Jamaica. I love Bob Marley. I guess I have all of his CDs because he got a lot of stuff that, whatever. But I have a whole lot of Bob Marley music. I love Bob Marley. But Bob Marley was an absentee dad. So you live what you learn. He was an absentee dad who had mistresses and kids outside of the marriage and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it was accepted because of the way that they, I ain't going to get too deep into that. But Rita Marley accepted that. She accepted that part of it. But he was an absentee dad that cheated on her and had kids and all kinds of stuff. Like, he would live for years at a time and, away from his kids. So you live what you learn. We grew up in that environment. Hey, Brandon. But the T is a producer got in the comments and said that Lauryn cheated constantly with others in the industry. Yes, I did see that, Brianna. I saw that. Yes, I did see that. I was going to bring that up. Thank you for reminding me. Now I did see that. Now that there was a producer who, and he's a legit producer. I went to his Instagram page and I looked at his Instagram. He was a legit producer who said that Lauryn Hill cheated on Rohan. I don't know if I'm saying Rohan, repeatedly, even with her own bandmates, and we already know who that was. We know her and Wyclef had a whole affair. We know they had a whole thing going on, and that's why eventually he left. But again, leave her. Don't leave your kids. Leave her. This was your daughter talking, not Lauren. Lauren ain't never said nothing. This was the daughter talking. So even if I believed it, which, I don't know what Lauren was doing, but again, you left your children. See, so the producer, I get it. You I got it. You want to expose Lauren. You want to defend your friend. But at the end of the day, you leave the kids. I mean, you leave her. You don't leave your kids. Because they have, what, 6 kids together, 4 or 5 kids together, something like that? Because I know her last child isn't his. But I think they have 4 or 5 kids together, something like that. I forget these numbers, child. It's been so many years, I forget these numbers. It was 2+ hour live full of mess, and I didn't bother checking it out. Yeah, I'm be honest, I saw the clips, and even the clips I saw were hard to sit through because she talking riddles too. These people that be talking in riddles, I'm like, listen, can you just come right out and say what it is you're trying to say? I can't do this subliminal, just say it. So yeah, but I didn't see the whole thing either. I didn't look at the whole live, but she must have felt like she had to say something. What do I think happened to Lauren? Do you think it was mental? I'm going to say this without being a medical expert and without knowing anything about Lauryn Hill. Let me preface by saying I'm not a medical expert. I don't know nothing about Lauryn Hill. I think she had a mental break. I don't know if it was a combination of the pressures of the industry, the relationship stuff. Maybe it runs in her family to a certain extent. I think she had a mental break. That's my opinion. And again, I don't know that woman. I've not examined her. I've not gone to anybody's medical school. But just from the outside looking in, 1 minute she seemed like she was on top of the world. She was doing this. She was doing that. She fell in love, started having babies, and it was just like, what? Rohan cheated with her best friend in their home. That's why she left and came back to the U.S. Rohan used to hit her too. Yeah, I heard that too, Shawnette. Yeah, it sounds like it was a toxic relationship, period, on both ends. If we're going to believe the producer. I don't know none of these people. But if we're going to believe producer, it does sound like there was some toxicity going on both ends. Rohan is first generation U.S. born to Haitian parents. No, Rohan, no, he's Jamaican. That's Bob Marley's son. They Jamaican. He's not Haitian. He's Jamaican. Yeah, he's Jamaican, babes. My mom said the same thing, mental breakdown. It could be from the childbirth, a combination of things. I think it was a combination of things. I think a lot of it came down to the pressures. Those of you, people who are in my age group and above, y'all remember the Lauryn Hill train. Lauryn Hill was on a high. And there was a lot of pressure on her to come out and have this bang, her solo album was so breakthrough. Oh, you mean Lauren? Oh, I'm sorry. You mean Lauryn Hill. Okay, my bad. Her solo album, I mean, it's still a classic. Like, it's still a banger. Like, you can still put her solo album out on from beginning to end, and it's still a banger. And there was so much pressure on her. She got pregnant when all of this went down. She was pressured into having an abortion. Rumor is she'd already had 1 abortion. I don't know that to be a fact. I heard that rumor somewhere. But there was that. She was in love with Wyclef. Wyclef, it wasn't reciprocated, not the way she wanted it to be. She was young. Like, she was a young kid. Like, I think we can't put. She was young. It was a lot on her, and I think she broke. I just think she had a mental break, and I think that she didn't get the help she needed. maybe because of the whole stigma in the Black community of what mental health looks like and what you should do about mental health. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think she got the help she needed. And I think it continued to manifest itself through love in a toxic relationship, which was Rohan Marley. Remember, she started dating him off of what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Off of the tales of what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Off of what happened with her and Wyclef. He was the rebound. That's it. Your first time here, welcome. Real Madhouse. Well, welcome, Real Madhouse. Right, you played it until the CD was skipping, honey. Yes, exactly. Hey, get into it, Goddess. How you doing, babes? I don't think Lauren could top her first album. Even her unplugged performances weren't as good as that album. That's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure when artists have these breakthrough solo albums. Their first albums. There's always so much pressure on from the record company for that same level of success, and it's hard to match that. Like Michael Jackson chased Thriller until he died. And that wasn't his debut album, but Michael Jackson chased the success of Thriller until he died. And, I think one of the things I loved about Prince was that Prince always switched it up. I remember when he came out, his first single after the whole Purple Rain, after the movie and the album, after all of that sort of died down, I remember his first single, or one of his first singles, I should say, was Raspberry Beret. And it was such a left turn from anything Purple Rain. People were like, what? But I think it took the pressure off of him to try to duplicate Purple Rain because it went so far in the other direction. Kiss. So I think when artists try to do something different, it takes a little bit of pressure off, even if it's not successful. Because if it's not successful, then people can say, oh, well, that was crazy anyway. Like, that was stupid anyway. Like, we'll get back to what you were doing. And then the expectation is sort of lowered, if that makes any sense, what I'm saying. I remember her Sister Act was this right before she blew. That was around the time she blew. All of that was in the same window. Yeah. But then I would say Sister Act, the Fugees, "Killing Me Softly" album, when they redid "Killing Me Softly," which is when they were recording that album, was when she met Rohan Marley. By the way, when they were in Jamaica, because they redid "No Woman No Cry," and that's when they met the Marley family. That the success of the Fugees, she dropped a couple of singles, I should say. Love Jones, she had a song on Love Jones that blew up. Sister Act 2, which of course blew up. All of that was like within a 2-year window. And then everybody was ready for this album. Everybody, like, if you were around then, if you were a teenager, like I would say probably middle school or up, you remember the anticipation of Lauryn Hill's solo album. Like, we were like, and that was back in the day when you had to actually buy CDs or tapes. I'm trying to think, it was CDs back then. Because I was, when Lauryn Hill's solo came out, I think I was in college. So it was CDs, because when I was in college, it was CDs. And you had to actually go to the store and buy them, and we were waiting. Like, the anticipation was ridiculous. Musicology is probably one of my favorite post Purple Rain CDs. Purple Rain's gonna always be my favorite, like, yeah, as an album. My favorite song by Prince is Little Red Corvette. That's my favorite song by Prince. Anyway, Butterflies still gives me butterflies. Exactly. You're correct. Also, he wasn't afraid to move his sound into the present day and dabbled in the hip hop. Yeah. Prince, he was a genius. Like, Prince was a musical genius. Like, we're about to go way left now. But Prince was, he was I don't think people really truly understand the genius that Prince was. I remember reading a story about when he was a kid and how his dad We know his dad was abusive. If you know anything about Prince, you know his dad was abusive. And I remember reading a story, but his dad was also a musician. And I remember reading a story about his dad locked him in a room one weekend. He punished him. He locked him in a room one weekend, and the room had instruments in it. And by the end of that weekend, Prince had taught himself how to play every instrument in that room. It's like crazy. It was crazy. The genius that was Prince and how many instruments this man could play. Like, if his family ever releases, which a part of me doesn't want them to because he didn't want that music released, but a part of me, the fan of me, wants to hear all of this music that Prince has. Y'all know how much music Prince had at Paisley Park that was just sitting in the vaults? Just crazy. Crazy. She was like 20 woman all the time. Hey, Cola. Exactly. And I mean, she's not the first 21-year-old to have that kind of pressure, but everybody's mental state is different. And I just think that a lot was put on her, and I just honestly think she broke. I do. I think you had the record producer pulling at her, you had the Fugees pulling at her, you had the the movie career pulling at her. It was a lot. And this girl was, it was a lot. It was a lot. And so that's just my opinion. Again, I don't know that woman from a hole in the wall. I'm sorry that her daughter felt like, because whenever people do stuff like that, I see that as a cry for help. Whenever you see people go on live and tell all their business, in my mind, what I hear is that they're asking somebody for help. Especially when it's a child airing out their parents. I didn't get the impression from her that she was doing it out of malice, like, I'm going to get my parents. Like, her affect wasn't on that to me. Like, if you see the clips, you'll see that I didn't feel like, I feel like she was asking for help. Remember, Lauren still has younger kids. Like, there are other children in this scenario. Lauren got what, like 6 kids? She's got like 5 or 6 kids. Again, I don't lost count, child, but I know she's got like 5 or 6 kids. So I think that there's a cry for help in there. Jaguar said they're trying to kill. Yeah. God, is you still in here, baby? God is that's one of my DMV sisters. We were talking about our city earlier. And what's going on with our city. We're gonna pray for my city. Please pray for my city. I just feel something. I just feel something in the air. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Y'all don't know how much I want to be wrong, but I feel something in the air. Y'all pray for my city, please. I did feel her doing that, and for that amount of time, I was thinking she has something going on. Yeah. No, Jaguar Wright said that they trying to kill her after she spilled all of the Roots business. She said they're trying to kill her child. And I don't know. I mean, they might be. I don't know. They might be. I don't know. I don't know who follows Jaguar right around. They might be trying to kill her. I don't know these people. But yeah, so anyway, y'all know us. Listen, we've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. We were ready to get off of here. But before we go, I didn't pull up. Hold on, let me pull up a item of the day for y'all. Please, y'all know I've reactivated my Arbonne business. Please check out the catalog and support me by ordering something. The link has been scrolling along the bottom of the where my Cash App is. The link has been scrolling. So please support me. Let me pull up. I got my new catalog. Oh shoot, hold on. I wasn't gonna go on StreamYard. I came on StreamYard so El Teddy could join in the conversation at the beginning. All right, let's look at this catalog. Let's see. I'm gonna tell you what I'm getting ready to. I have to order. I had a doctor's appointment today. I had a virtual doctor's appointment today. That was so weird to have a virtual doctor's appointment, child. That was weird. That's the link. You guys can click on that and check out my Arbonne. That's what I'm saying, Abby. She done already told all the business. What we killing her for? Oh, you in Chicago too? We definitely gonna pray for. We We talked about that earlier too. We had one of my subscribers who was in Chicago came on and spoke to us. Quintessential. We definitely gonna pray for Chicago. My city is DC. We had a mass shooting, which probably didn't make the national headlines because it was just a bunch of black kids. Nobody cared about a bunch of black kids. But anyway, with 21 people were shot and one person was killed. He was a teenager. He was a father. And that happened on Sunday. So they were looting like crazy. Yeah. You think Lauren lost it? Or you said you thought? I don't know when Lauren lost it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know when that happened for Lauren, but it was in that moment. I think it was in that window. And I think that her finding out he was married might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But I think there were other elements. So this is what my Arbonne. I got this. This is what the catalog looks like. And like I told you guys, it's full of a little bit of this, it's got a little bit of that. They have men's products, they have skincare products, they have nutritional products, makeup, all that good stuff. And so I'm getting ready to order. The next thing I order is going to be a probiotic because my doctor told me I needed a probiotic, child. She told me she wanted me to start taking a probiotic, which I used to take a probiotic and I stopped. So they have probiotics under the nutrition section. And so I'm going to order me a probiotic, honey. And I'm going to start taking that. I'm also going to order the immunity booster with everything going on right here. Oh, right there. The immunity booster. I used to drink these. And you just drop them in your water. For those of you who drink water, and it has sort of like a raspberry taste to it. You just add it to your water. You drink it. It's no big thing, but it helps boost your immunity. And with everything we got going on, honey, and that's why my doctor wants me to take it, child. And like I said, I used to take a probiotic, and then I just stopped. You take something, and then you just forget. One day you just forget to buy a new bottle of it. You just stop taking it. So I'm trying to get back on my healthy. Exactly. Get it right, honey. You had to throw your probiotics away because you got tired of the gas, but the gas isn't a bad thing. I mean, unless I don't want nobody, Yeah. So y'all check it out, please. And I'm going to get off of here. Y'all know tonight we have the series finale of Greenleaf, honey. I might share the tea or two. We got the series finale, Greenleaf. I have loved Greenleaf. El Teddy, myself, and probably Evie, if she can make it. I know Evie, she has some other priorities going on right now. We're going to do a live on, I think we said either Thursday. I think we said Thursday night, you guys, to speak on the series that was Greenleaf. I think Evie used to look at it at one point. And so we're gonna not the booty trumpet. I have never heard that before. Oh, I'm using that one, the booty trumpet. I have never used that. Oh, the booty trumpet. But yeah, so that definitely, y'all know that's definitely gonna be a video that y'all are gonna see uploaded tonight. My Greenleaf, I might still be in tears, honey, but my Greenleaf will be uploaded. I'm gonna drop a few more tonight. I don't know what they are, but I'm gonna drop a few more. I think I'm finally ready to do my marriage boot camp, child. I did my life after lockup, but here's what had happened. I did my life after lockup, and I was ready to upload it, and then I realized that I forgot to include one of the couples in my review, and I really didn't want to re-record the whole review, so I'm gonna have to just add like a little addendum at the end to that one, but that'll probably get uploaded tonight because it's done. I just forgot to talk about Maurice, and I really did want to talk about Maurice because his story and what it is he's trying to do is important, so I'll speak on that. Anyway, you guys, thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate you all. Please, please, please support my Arbonne endeavor. I appreciate you much. If you can, I understand we all going through what we going through. And I will see y'all later. Peace.